Hi guys, it's Jess from Honest Fiction and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the This or That Challenge Romance Reader Edition. Alright guys, so Caitlin from The Love Librarian and then Victoria from Victoria's Romance Reads came up with all of the questions for this tag. I'm super excited. I love doing videos like this. Now there are a bunch of us that should be dropping this same video today, so I will leave everyone down in the description below. Definitely check out their content. I can't wait to hear everyone's answers. Now, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. You can also check out my Instagram and Goodreads, both linked down below. With all that out of the way, let's get into the questions. All right, first question, cliffhangers or happily ever afters? So I think overall I prefer happily ever afters. However, if it's a book in a series, then I really like when they end with a cliffhanger, only because I'm someone who really loves finishing series and just binging them. And when they end with a cliffhanger, I feel like I have more motivation to pick up the next book. But overall, definitely happily ever afters. All right, next question, hardcover or paperback? So I think I'm actually gonna say hardcover only because I typically listen to everything via audio, so really neither of these apply to me, but for hardcovers, I do like getting special editions, and I feel like most special editions come in hardcover. All right, I actually really like this next question. So do you prefer angsty or cutesy? And this is so easy, angsty all the way. I love dark, forbidden romance that's full of angst. I'm not a huge fan of rom-coms that are really cutesy, so definitely angsty is the winner. All right, next up is standalone or series. So normally I would say series, however, the last two books I've read that I've rated 5 stars have been standalones. So The Words by A. Jade and then No Tomorrow by Carrie and Cole are both standalone romance books that are divine. So I actually think I'm gonna pick standalone for this one. Ooh, the next one is BookTok or Bookstagram. So I feel like I get the most recommendations from BookTok. I've been leaning towards indie published books lately, and BookTok has been really good for finding out books I normally wouldn't hear about. However, Bookstagram, I feel like I've made the most friends. So I feel like with Bookstagram, that's where you can really talk to other people in the community. So I think I'm gonna pick Bookstagram. Objects or people on covers? Super easy, objects all the way. I hate people on covers. I hate it. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. I like to imagine what characters look like, and when there is a person on the cover, that person automatically goes into my mind as the character. And I like discreet covers, so definitely gonna go with objects. This next one's hard. So new releases or backlist? I feel like I am someone that really suffers from fear of missing out, so I read a lot of new releases. However, I've been going and reading more backlist recently for authors that I really enjoy. So I think I'm gonna say new releases, but I also read a decent amount of backlists. TBR or free-for-all? So I used to be really, really good at sticking to a TBR. When I was reading fantasy, I feel like I would just check those books off one by one. I feel with romance, I'm now more of a mood reader. Sometimes in the mood for a really dark and steamy read, and other times I want a lighthearted contemporary. So it's a mix of both. I feel like TBR, I've just been making my TBR lists a third of the size as I used to. So TBR, but also a little bit of a free-for-all. This next one, open door or fade to black? I feel like if you're familiar with my channel, you know the answer to that. It's gonna be open door. I don't read anything that's fade to black unless it's YA fantasy or something in a younger genre, but if it's a romance, it needs to be open door. All right, next one is audiobooks or ebooks. So I use both. However, I feel like without audiobooks, I would not read half the amount of books that I am able to read a year. I always listen to audiobooks while following along with an ebook, but if I'm driving, I'm listening to audiobooks. If I'm cleaning, I'm listening to audiobooks. So yeah, definitely, if I had to choose between the two, 100% audiobooks. All right, so next up is Kindle or nah. Definitely Kindle, and there are a few reasons why. One of them is Kindle Unlimited. Most of the books I want to read on my TBR and finding on Kindle Unlimited, and I'll normally read them there before I end up purchasing a paperback. And then also, like I said earlier, I love listening to things via audio and following along with my ebook. So on Kindle, if you buy an ebook, they'll normally have the audiobook at a reduced price. So yes, I love my Kindle. It is one of my favorite things on earth. Next up is matte or glossy. So I'm gonna say matte for this. I typically read indie published books. I read a bunch of traditionally published romance books a few months ago, and I just don't love them as much. And for some reason, most indie published books or romance books are matte. I don't know why that is, but that seems to be a thing. So between matte and glossy, definitely matte. All right, next up is buddy read or fly solo. So I enjoy both. For buddy reading, I normally buddy read at least one fantasy book a month with Isa from Fantasy Books, and it's just really cool. It adds a new experience to the book. I get really excited if like something crazy happens in the book that I can like jump on Discord and discuss it. But I also really enjoy flying solo, only because I read pretty fast, and I am by no means the fastest in the romance community. Like some of you guys can read like 3 books a day, and it's insane, and I'm jealous. But I normally read like a book a day, so it's kind of hard to buddy read like when you're doing that. But overall, I enjoy both of them. They are both very fun. Next prompt is small town or dark romance. Dark romance all the way. All of my favorite romance books are like dark or forbidden. And I enjoy small town, especially like romantic suspense, which is normally set in a small town. But overall, dark romance, definitely. All right, this next one makes me feel old, but new adult or adult? I'm gonna say adult only because I recently read a few college romances and I just couldn't relate to the characters. I think there are fantasy romance that do new adult that I really enjoy, but as far as just like contemporary or dark romance, definitely adult. All right, so the next one is sprint read or a marathon read, a series. I don't actually know the difference. I'm gonna assume that sprint read means just to read through a series very quickly, and then marathon read is like to take breaks. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But I'm gonna say sprint read. I really prefer to read an entire series and just binge it in like a weekend. I really don't like starting a series and then putting it down and then picking it back up, because 9 times out of 10, I will not pick it back up. So yeah, definitely sprint read if I'm correct on the definition. Alpha or sweetheart hero. So I like a mix of both. 99% of the time, I'm gonna go with alpha hero. I like the crazy possessive hero that like will do anything for his girl. But Oliver Masters is like one of my top book boyfriends, and he is the biggest sweetheart like ever written. So most of the time alpha, besides Ollie Masters. Read multiple books at once or one at a time. One at a time. I really struggle if I'm trying to read multiple books at once. It takes me so much longer. I'd rather just, like I said, read a book a day and just do it that way instead of like starting multiple ones, especially if they're similar. So I was reading multiple mafia romances and I started getting confused like who was doing what. So yeah, I'm much better at one book at a time. Baddie or damsel in distress heroine. So I want a baddie heroine that's in distress, if that makes any sense. So like I like having really strong female figures, but then still having like the alpha guy come and save her if she's in a predicament that she can't get out of. So I definitely like a badass character, but also like I want the guy to save her because I just love that in romance. Last up is slow burn or Instalove. The slower, the better. I hate Instalove. That is one of my least favorite tropes. Anytime a character like meets another character and they immediately start having a relationship, I don't like it. So definitely slow burn. Mariana Zapata is like one of my favorite romance authors. So obviously I love the slow burn. All right, guys, that's it for the This or That Romance Challenge. Please check out everyone else's videos. Like I said, I will have them linked in the description down below. And I said this already, I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye.